in the building,
Woo,
in
woo,
our
woo, woo,
respective
woo.
buildings. We are live. This
We
is
live. What's
Cree
up?
and
What's
Friends
up?
After Dark. This is the first adaptation of this show and a couple others coming to the Brave Ambition Radio Network in 2023. I am Lucretia L. Rogers. I'm here with my home girl. She
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not only that, she's a fellow content creator. She's also a lifestyle influencer. Her name is Miss Bunnie Mae. What up, girl?
Hey!
And I love it. And I do. And I do. Girl, what's
What's
going on with
going
it?
on? What is going on? Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. I
I,
enjoy all of your platforms, and I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm ready to get into some stuff. Let's go.
oh man. So listen, so we did was it last year? We
What's
did
it?
yeah, I believe it was in 2021. Is the last time we did an episode, and I'm gonna find it too. I'm gonna walk and chew bubble gum at the same damn
I
time,
think
so I'm
I
gonna
still
share
have
that
the link.
link.
I think I still have the link too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make sure that I share that so you can kind of see, how our conversation started. Not that this is new, but this is new um, to our second time with
Yeah.
having Bunny on the platform, right? But at that time, it was Brave Ambition Radio, which I have turned into a network with 6 shows running, 2 coming
Okay.
up,
Okay.
um,
Okay. You
and
better
that's
pop
just what
it
it
up. You
is.
better pop it.
So Miss Bunnie Mae, she is the head carrot cutie in charge. There's this group, y'all. Okay. And just let me give you a precursor real quick because I'm going to invite, some other girls into this group, right? Because I only hang
Mhm.
around a certain type or a certain caliber of woman. But listen, is when I say no fluff, we
None
invite
of
you to
that.
talk and pop your shit. Say
Respectfully.
what you say what you mean what you say, make real connections with other people that have, similar interests and are aligned, right? So
Yes.
if that's what you own, Carrot Cuties is your group. I'm gonna just lay that out
E-
there. So
Yes.
tell me what happened. What happened? What brought that about?
So if you are kind of familiar with my journey, I had an organization maybe about 2 years ago called Girl Gang. And I was really on the brink of, like, before all of the girl groups kind of started, like the empowerment groups kind of started, I was really on the brink of that. So Girl Gang, when I had it, it took off. I mean, it went beyond what I was expecting to the point where it became overwhelming. So eventually I slowed down and I just kind of let it go its way. But I never lost the passion. I never lost the drive for just bringing women together, just being able to connect women. And, it always feels good popping your shit when you're around a lot of women that also pop their shit and they're comfortable with popping their shit. Um, and that's kind of, that kind of migrated over to a carrot cutie when I decided that I wanted to go the carrot lady route and drop the daily carrots and kind of build that image. Carrot cuties just came naturally. It just kind of flowed. It just kind of
And,
worked.
and you know what? That's always a good thing for things to flow from, one point to the other.
Hmm.
But what was the in between like?
Man, in between was hard. Like, so honestly, I've been trying to find, how you try to do so many things. You try to find your niche. You try to find what area you belong in or what feels good or what feels right. So it was a lot of experimenting. It was a lot of, try this, let's try this, let's do that, let's throw this over here. You just throw them noodles and throw the noodles. What is it in the old days? Throw the noodles at the wall or something to see if it
At the
sticks.
wall and watch them stick. Yeah.
Don't let me come to nobody's house and see y'all with some noodles on your wall. I'm not playing with you.
You
I don't
bet
want to see
not.
nobody
Not the
noodles.
oodles and noodles, not the ones out of the pack, none of that. I don't want to see none of that against the wall because first of all, I can't eat over there. Don't invite me to the cookout. Okay. Let's
Not at
not do
all.
that. Okay. But
But that was the mindset that I had. I was trying to, and I still, I have a curious way of approaching life. So I'm always going to be into stuff or trying new things or learning new stuff. So It's nothing new. It's just this was something that it just wouldn't go away. No matter how much I learned, no matter how much I added, no matter how many other businesses I started, it was always a passion of mine and it never went away. So it just kind of rolled over. And that time was real experimental for me. I tried a lot of shit.
Listen, if nobody else knows, I know that trying a lot of shit is really like almost a part of every part of our journey, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
about reinventing. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
reinvent, sometimes you come to a standstill. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
come to a standstill, you become overwhelmed. And then when you become overwhelmed, you kind of shut down. So,
Then you just shut down
but
and you don't get anything done.
listen, and we could go on and on and on. And so,
Okay.
what happened at the very end of that? Were you satisfied with the end result? Is it not an end result and is going to continue to be like an evolution for you? How does that go?
You know what? Okay, so that's interesting. So when I started, I had an end result in mind. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody, when they have a goal or they have a concept or something, the end result is to see whatever it is that they saw in their head, to see that come to life, right? So on this journey, I'm like, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to go. And then when you hit that, like if you don't make plans after that, if you don't evolve after that, then you kind of get there and you're like, okay, well now what? You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like you kind of get there, you set your goal to climb the mountain, and when you get to the top, you're like, well, now what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Aside from admire the view, now what? So I got to that point where it was like, well, I've done all that I wanted to do in this area. Now what? You know what I'm saying? And when you hit that, it kind of opens up, like it allows you to open up other doors and other opportunities.
what what did you feel like, I guess during the process, when it comes to your mental, like did you have challenges when it came to that? Where was it smooth for you? You didn't have too much transition that affected you like that? What did that look like?
Oh man, it was listen, I still ain't right, okay?
Not not I'm still going through that.
No, I feel like it's an evolution. I was saying before with the evolution, it's a continuous process. Like, yeah, you get better over time, but um I don't feel like there's a perfect anything, right? There's not
Right.
there are better moments than others, but there's no such thing as perfect. Like there's, in the way I was brought up, perfect is one way. So when you realize that and you realize like I almost can't be perfect, I'm not just saying just go out and start fucking shit up, but I am saying, you realize that you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna do decisions, you're gonna make different decisions. And damn, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay because we're not perfect. Let me let y'all know that shit right
There you
now.
go. Thank you.
If you're listening today, just know this is not one
We're
of
not
those
perfect.
conversations. All right. So let me, oh, you matter of fact, since you went there, let me
Ask
share
me
this
again.
because I
Ask
was
me again.
literally sitting here cussing Instagram the entire fuck out. Right. Let me let
Yeah.
you know why. Because for the last year, I have been battling with Facebook and Instagram, who's owned by Facebook, y'all, but that's another
Mhm.
conversation. They had one of my accounts that I built very organically with, I would say 1% of paid advertisement. They had it hostage, like hostage. I don't know how many different times I had to crop my driver's license, send it as proof of
Oh, and
ID,
send it in to approve
and,
your
and
account.
you know what I'm saying? And then so finally today, just by happenstance, because I got, other accounts that I manage, other social media accounts I manage. And so lo and behold, this particular account was free. Like free me Seymour free. Like, and
Hmm.
I was cussing it out. And I was probably looking crazy because it probably looked as if I was talking to myself, but I brought it up to to bring up a very valid point. People
Mhm.
seem to misconstrue entrepreneurship or
Mhm.
being a creative for something that's fly by night, that's easy, that's like, oh, that, I mean, what you complaining about? Listen, we have very real challenges,
Yes.
very real challenges. And people just don't know. I think sometimes they really mistake the game, because this is not something you just wake up and just do and then everything
Oh
is
goodness,
good.
no,
We make it
no.
look good.
Make it look
We make
easy.
we make it look easy, but baby, listen, the
It's
things we
nothing
have to go
easy
through.
about it. It's nothing easy about it. My original account on Instagram got deleted, right? So I had an Instagram account probably in 2018 or 19, somewhere around there. And it was my first one. And I had gotten up to maybe like 30,000 followers. I had mentioned something about the Kardashians, right? One
Uh-huh.
thing. And it was in disagreement with something that they had said. But it wasn't a diss, it wasn't disrespectful. It was just, I don't agree with this. Yeah, I got kicked out of my account and
Oh
they
my
never
God.
allowed me to open it. That's why my name will never be able to be Bunnie Mae on there, because that account is just shut down. They won't let me use that name anymore. I cannot open it.
That's
That account just
crazy.
doesn't exist. I was
Did you
so
try to fight it?
I did everything. I tried it. I was writing emails. I was trying to find phone numbers. I was messaging contacts. I was like, anybody just help me. And it
Uh,
wasn't it. And
not
I was so
anybody, somebody, please.
discouraged. Listen, I was so discouraged that I never really put 100% back into my Instagram after that, because I was heartbroken. I had put in, and it goes what you were saying. Like, we put so much into it, and we invest so much into it, and it becomes more than just like, when you look at it as a job or a position, it becomes more than just something that we do. It's not something that's just cute. It looks
Right.
cute, but it's an actual job. It takes a lot of consistency, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. Um, and
It take a lot of patience.
that too, a lot of patience, you know, and a lot of studying. Like, I did a lot of studying with social media. I sat back and watched for years on algorithms and communication and networking. And I did a lot of that, a lot of building off of social media. So it became more than just like, oh, she just looks pretty in this picture, but
Right.
that's all that people saw. And I've had so many people who come like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, or can you mentor me, or can we do this or something? And within 3 months, they tap out because it's not what they thought
Wow.
it was. And I know anyone who's a creator or have mentored other people, they know that it's not easy to mentor, and it lets you know how difficult things really can be when you're trying to help somebody else learn it.
Let's talk about the mean girl syndrome.
Ugh.
That's really prevalent, really, right now in the world of hip hop, especially when it comes to female MCs.
Mhm.
So it's so exhausting, but it's really got to be said, man. Like,
Mhm.
we we too powerful to be at odds the way they're
Man.
displaying that they're at odds. So we're talking about, the proposed beef, I guess I would say, as an example. Um, let's say it started out with Nikki and JT, and then it is Nikki and Lotto, and then it's, but just those as examples, those are just
Mhm.
not inclusive, right?
Right.
But I think I found, no, I won't say I think, I have found over the years in dealings with people, just in general, um, and then especially women, that folks can be so catty and so standoffish.
Mhm.
And why are we doing that? What are we doing?
For what? For
For what? For
what?
why? But why?
Thank
I don't.
you for why.
You know what?
Make
It
it make
really it's screaming ghetto,
sense.
and it's
I don't
you
want to
know,
say
and it's
that,
screaming like
but
you want to scratch somebody's eyes out all the damn time. This whole mean girl thing, and then what about what a deterrent it is to content creators, right? To women in
yeah,
business, to women that
to
represent
women, like
various
you can take
industries.
any label or title out of it, but just to women in general, like yeah, we already have a limited amount of representation in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? Especially like us. Like not like we ain't
Mhm.
just talk about black women. We talking about us. Like there's a very limited representation of us in a way that's not demeaning, right? So why are you in this position and this is the manner in which you choose to behave? Now I'm not saying everybody got to be locked hands and happy go lucky and it's not no driving Miss Daisy shit. Like we don't have to be that. But what we don't have to do is publicly display this bullshit.
Right, right. I agree with that. It's one too much. So if you could take any message from that, I would say, you know what? You don't have to break bread per se.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to be an ass either.
Yeah, you don't have to
Because
stop
come
nobody
on.
else bag. I don't have to stop your bag. Like I might not agree with what you do or your methods, but that's cool because you probably don't agree with mine either. But that doesn't mean I'm about to do anything to stop your bag. Now I
Right,
get it. The world is not a rose petal place. Like everybody doesn't think like that. Everyone doesn't feel like that. So there are people who are more aggressive in that way. But like I don't know. I just don't feel like it's anything that needs to be done on Front Street or to that degree. At some point it starts feeling like bullying. Like so we just out here bullying each other now? Like that's what we
yeah,
doing?
and is definitely giving meet me outside at 3 o'clock.
Thank
I
you.
I
I
just
don't
really
like
don't like it.
it. I don't like it.
And
Because
that's
I know
really a
so many
serious. I'm
I know
laughing about it.
so
I'm
many
joking about it, but it's not a joking matter. It's just not a joking
mm-mm.
matter, and we just need to do better.
I know
That's
so
it.
many talented females that would do the utmost to be in those positions. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the women who are in the positions don't deserve to have it because everybody worked their ass off to get there. But there are women right now who would love to come close to the level that they're at. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost
Yeah.
disrespectful to them that you got this and you holding this and people view you in a regard. Now you making it harder for the other ones. Like I don't know. I don't like that. That's why I got carrot cuties. We all love each other. It's everybody loves everybody.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And then everybody is supportive in one way or another of each other's
Yeah.
initiatives and what all we got going on because it's more than enough bread out here.
Mhm.
Let me put
And
that
it's
out
really
here.
comes down to communication. It really
Yeah.
does. Like just learn how to speak to people. Learn how to voice when you're upset about something. Learn how to voice, without bullying or without taking to social media. Like learn how to have conversations with people when you don't like the decisions that they made or you feel like it's going a certain way. Like just this all out just bullying, mean girl bullshit. I don't like it. I don't like it.
That, but you know what? You mentioned a very key point in what you just said about communication. We should be able to communicate with each other without all that extra, without all of that area
Mhm.
chest.
Mhm.
Why are you being aggressive? You could be assertive and really be passionate about what you feel or what you think or what have you, what opinion you
Cool.
have. But cool, that's fine. No, that's you're not shitting on me because of that. But I can have my opinion or should be able to have my opinion as well. And we can agree to disagree or never agree at all or table it and never touch it again. But that doesn't mean that's not a cause for disrespect.
Facts. Like, there's no need to be disrespectful. Like on either end. Like, there's no reason to cross the line to have to defend yourself on being respectful. Like, everybody need to be on the same page. Like, look, I have some of my close friends have extremely opposite views than I do. You know what I'm saying? And it calls for heated debates, but it creates a great conversation I learned something new from those conversations, and we're able to, either, leave it here and move on, or come to, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just a different perspective. I'll see a different perspective of stuff. And I'm not saying it changes my opinion, but it does affect on how I view things. So I don't understand why is it really that hard? Is it that hard?
It ain't
Is it just
hard.
me?
Uh,
It's not hard.
like 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 many things, people make shit harder what it's gotta be.
Ugh.
Um, but with that said,
Mhm.
let's talk about the Bunnie Mae rebrand.
Yay.
Yay. I've been waiting for this, girl, because you know what? This is another one of those subjects that really shouldn't be taboo when it comes to content creation, or having an ownership of your intellectual property,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So let's talk about the rebrand. Why?
Okay, so really last year I kind of went into a depression around, I say, like the end of June, beginning of July. However, I built this platform where people were I was so positive all the time. I was always encouraging, and I still am, positive, encouraging, and motivating, that I really didn't feel this was a place that I could kind of let that energy out. So it was something that I dealt with on my own. I did get some help, I got some therapy, and everything's good now. It just was a dark time of my life where my social media was impacting my life. You know what I'm saying? It was impacting where I how I maneuvered, what I thought, how I felt. And that, amongst other things, really sent me into a dark space. But I had so many people that were dependent on me, or so many people that were connected to me or connected to my resources, that I didn't want to just let that go. So I was like, something got to change. I can't just let it go, but something has to change. I can't just keep maneuvering like this. So really, my rebrand is more of a personal lifestyle change that I've made over the course of a year. It's just now the results are showing. I've made better decisions. I've gotten my mental health together. You know what I'm saying? I've become more stable in my mental capacity. So it caused more of what's inside of me to come out. So now everybody is just seeing all the good shit that's been inside.
Yes. You know
So
what? And that's
huh,
inspiration though. That's inspiration though, for real.
thank you. But you know what? It doesn't feel like a rebrand because it's so natural to me. Like the content I'm creating, the companies that I'm working for, the relationships that I've built with people, if it's so genuine and it's so authentic right now, that it doesn't feel as if I'm rebranding. So I'm actually shocked. I get a little taken aback sometimes when people are like, "Oh, I love you're like, girl, you really come out your shell," or "Girl, I love seeing this," or "You really stepped into it." And in my head, all I've done is just become let out more of who I really am. And it didn't feel like a change because I've been working so hard at it. So it's a little shocking sometimes. And people are like, "Girl, what's this rebrand? A girl this, a girl that." And I'm just like, I mean,
Bonnie's
I
doing
got some therapy.
not listen, I got the therapy and I came back stronger than ever.
Okay, and then I wanted to create something. As I'm growing, and the reason I say this is because let me clarify. I am my brand, right? So no matter what business I build, no matter what venture I take, no matter what service I provide, it's all branded under my name. So when I say things like rebranding and that is personal, it's because I am my brand. I do not have a product. I do not, you know what I'm saying? I don't have anything to physically rebrand in a package per se, or a certain type of content. I am my own content. So when I say rebranded in that manner, it means more of like interior work. What am I trying to say? Is that what I'm trying to say? It's an inside job.
It's
It's an inside
it's an
job.
inside job, she say,
Inside
y'all.
job.
Okay, so lit. So listen, I it was so many carrots in
Sorry.
what you just said. My goodness. So listen, I want to
Mhm.
piggyback to something that you said about building relationships, right?
Yes.
So it's I'm gonna say this with love. say hi before you ask for some shit. You know, uh
Warm me up.
I just want to see, I just want to comment on the status before you actually ask for some shit. You know, invite me to the barbecue before you ask. You know, let's talk about that and reciprocity, right?
Man.
Because sometimes in that you can give and give and give and give and give and give some more and give me some more, like Buster say. Okay, but then, but then you know it's crickets on the other end.
Man.
It's crickets, and
Man.
then like okay, so let's use this as an example, right? So many folks are well aware of some things that happen in my personal life with cancer, and then with my son being shot and having to recover from that. You know, it's really important to have people in your life. And I had a lot of y'all. It was a lot of y'all. Okay. So I love y'all too. But like reached out and was like, yo, are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? Let me know if you need me to do something. It's so important. It's so important to have those people in your life, because like you just mentioned about going through that depression, you know, is a lot of times you could just feel like you really by yourself. And you know, to piggyback off something we talked about earlier, we make it look good. We do make it look good. We make it look easy.
We
But
make it
a
look
lot of
easy.
times, yeah, it may look easy, but life be lifing. Life be lifing out here. And it's important to you know, not why you don't have your hand out all the damn time. God, you know, it's easy though for a lot of people, because it's always they had that gimme mentality, or they want to connect themselves with somebody they feel like can do something for them.
You know how many people who have approached, and that's why I'm weary about the way I handle friendships now, because so many people have approached and my discernment was off. And I'm like, oh, they're so cool. They're so this, they're so that. And they've taken a concept or an idea or a conversation or utilize resources and then just that's it. That's it. Like I just don't hear nothing from them. I don't, or they just off doing a thing, and it's just like, you know what? That's cool. Like that's cool because you learn through that.
You do learn, but you learn also at some point in that to give yourself some grace too. Yes. Because you know, things sometimes can feel, even if they're not hard enough, without having to navigate through that thought of, you know, who's for you, who sees me and me and not just that. That was a lot. So we have come to the end of this episode, but I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you really just like jumped on it, like, yay, let's do it. But really, thank you so much. You're a great friend of mine. I love what you're doing. I'm always going to be supportive. Make sure you let listeners know where they can find you on social media.
Thank you so much for having me on, first of all. And I just want to say I love all of your platforms. Like everything you put out is great content. It's great work. I'm a big fan. Just so you know.
Thank you, love.
I be silently stalking. Well, it ain't even silent. I just be stalking your stuff. I be sharing. And then
thank you, love. I appreciate you.
But you guys can find me on all social media platforms at I am Bunnie Mae, but it's Bunnie BUNNIE MAE. I do have, we are working on our Carrot Cutie podcast. So if you are, we'll be working with you. Yay! So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Right now, you can find us. The biggest place you can find us right now is on our Facebook group chat in the Carrot Cuties group. We have a lot of new content coming. We got some upcoming events. Make sure y'all tap in and Yeah, thank you again for having me. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you for being here. And as always, this is a part of the Brave Ambition Radio Network. You can find me online at lrogersglobal.com. I am also on Instagram at L Rogers Global. This has been an episode, an inaugural episode, let's call it, of Cree and Friends After Dark, produced by Detroit CEO Media. Y'all be easy.
Peace.